Hey y'all, so mine the how I sound. I know I sound pretty like poor quality, but that's alright. Anyway, so I am making a video about three different kind of scary stories, not really scary stories, but like things that'll make you like nervous or scared. Anyway, yeah, I'm gonna be playing Fortnite in the background, so yeah, let's get into it. Okay, so the first story we're going to be talking about is Annabelle the doll. So basically, Ed and Lorraine Warren were a couple who live in Monroe, Connecticut. I'm personally from Connecticut, so it's like in my own state, so it's kind of cool. Ed was a self-taught demonologist, and his wife Lorraine was a medium, which means that she can sense the dead or basically see the dead, if you didn't know what that meant. So, according to the Warrens, a student nurse was given a Raggedy Ann doll, one of those old dolls. She had like red yarn hair and like a blue dress. The Annabelle in the movies does not look like the real Annabelle, trust me. They just wanted to make Annabelle a little bit scarier. But in all honesty, the real Annabelle doll, she's much more creepier than the movie version. But let's get back to the story. So, the student nurse was given a Raggedy Ann doll in 1968. They say the doll behaved strangely and that a psychic medium told the student that the doll was inhabited by the spirit of a deceased girl named Annabelle, hence why the doll is named Annabelle. So basically, the student and her roommate tried to accept and nurture the spirit-possessed doll, but the doll reportedly exhibited malicious and frightening behavior. For example, the nurse student's boyfriend would sometimes sleep in the house, and he would have dreams about Annabelle strangling him and like doing really bad stuff to him. And then when he'd wake up, he'll have scratch marks all over his body, and he'd like, how how do I get these scratch marks if nothing's there? So it was at this point that the Warrens say that they were first contacted, moving the doll to their museum after pronouncing it demonically possessed. The doll remains in a glass box at the Warrens Occult Museum in Monroe, Connecticut. Now, Annabelle is very dangerous, so dangerous that Ed made sure to put a sign on Annabelle's box that reads positively "Do not touch," though of course people don't listen to rules. For example, a priest once went to see Annabelle and chastised her, saying holy words to Annabelle. Later on that day, he was in an extremely bad car crash. He explained in the hospital that he saw Annabelle in the back of his seat before the crash. Another story states that a college student and his friends went to visit the Warrens Museum. Now, because men are dumb, the college student began to taunt Annabelle, saying, "Oh, if you're real, hurt me," and stuff like that. So when Ed noticed this, he immediately kicked the group out. When the student was driving home on his motorcycle with his girlfriend, they crashed. The girlfriend survived, but the guy didn't, which means you shouldn't really mess with demonic stuff, especially if someone tells you, don't mess with demonic stuff because you could die. Okay, so now we're going to be talking about the urban legend, Black-Eyed Children. So you all might have heard the stories of Black-Eyed Children, regular looking children whose eyes are pitch black, no whites, just black. So there's stories of black-eyed children literally everywhere. Some claim they're real, some stories are just works of fiction. But they all have some common elements. For example, the children would knock on your door late at night, ask to come in. They might say that they need to contact their family or that they're lost. Now, the stories I've read never really let the kids come in. Like, the author would just be like, yeah, no, sorry, you're giving me the creeps, you're not coming into my house. Um, and I also read one where the author just flat out ignored the children, due to them being downright scary. And honestly, if I was in that situation, I would do the same thing. I would not open my door, especially for kids. Knocking on my door late at night. Now I get it sometimes. It could be, a kid who needs actual help, but if I'm looking out to their eyes just black, I am not opening my door at all. Some people claim that if you open your door and you let them into your house, that they'll kill you, they'll turn you into one of them, or other things. Though I've never, like I said, I've never read a story that had the author let the kids in, but I could just imagine the most worst possibilities that could happen with you letting in some creepy child into your home. Um, but yeah, don't trust people who have no color to their eyes, especially if they're black, because they could possibly want to kill you. Now the next topic is most likely the saddest one out of them all. This is the mystery of JonBenet Ramsey. So JonBenet Patricia Ramsey was born August 6, 1990, and she died December 25th, 1996. She was an American child beauty queen who was killed, as I said, at the age of 6 in her family's home in Boulder, Colorado. A lengthy handwritten ransom note was found in the home. Her father, John Ramsey, found the girl's body in the basement of their house about 7 hours after she had been reported missing. Um, how she died is that she sustained a broken skull from a blow to the head and had been strangled. So the autopsy basically says that she died from strangulation and trauma to the head. And they ruled it as a homicide. The case went public worldwide due to her age and due to JonBenet being, a pageant queen, basically. And unfortunately, the crime is still unsolved and remains open. And the officials at first thought it was the mom due to the rather long ransom note, though not enough evidence was there to actually confirm anything. Uh, we don't know if JonBenet was killed by her parents, by any other family, or it was like how the ransom note said that they were just a group of individuals who wanted money. Um, this case is sad because, as I said before, we still don't know who killed the poor little girl. They uh, interrogated the mother, the father, and the brother, all of whom I believe was home because in the case file she was reported missing in the middle of the night. And the ransom note was talking about how they shouldn't call the police or call family, though the mother did, which kind of gives me, something that's like, hey, I don't really think the mother killed her own daughter because she called the police and her family to let them know that her daughter's missing and to, try not to fear the worst or anything. Um, but yeah, this is one of the saddest ones. I know that people think that JonBenet is actually Katy Perry for some odd reason, only because they kind of look similar. Um, I literally don't believe that at all. Um, because Katy Perry is 30, I want to say 34, 33-ish, and JonBenet now, she would be 29 still. If my math is correct, she'll still be 29. So the ages don't really add up that much. Um, but yeah, this is really sad because, like I said again, she was found in her own basement. So someone had to have had easy access to the house because there was no signs of forced entry or anything. So it's literally so sad that she was killed in her own home, in her own basement, and she was found several hours later. And I just hope that soon we find who actually killed this poor little girl, and I hope that, we get justice for her, because, like I said, it really sucks that she died over almost 30 years ago, and we literally don't know who killed her. There's also reports that she might have been raped due to the fact that they found vaginal injuries near her, but there was no semen or anything like that on her. So probably could have been like as they were like strangling her. Unfortunately, yeah, they strangled the poor little girl. While they were strangling her, they probably injured her lower area. But yeah, I really hope that soon, even though this case is over 30 years old, but I hope in the coming years that they find new evidence to finally give this poor little girl some justice. Thanks for watching. Like, comment, and subscribe. Thanks again.